Some 16 years after British toddler Madeline McCann disappeared, there is a new search effort underway.
JonBenet Ramsey.
Gabby Petito.
Natalie Holloway.
We feel as though that if it was a white kid, there would be more than what they're doing for a black child. It's just like, it just feels like they just wrote it down on a piece of paper, balled it up, and threw it away.
I think at the time when '94 in Rwanda, we were looking at Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding and Wayne Bobbitt. Everybody knows what happened to Bobbitt.
I call it the missing white woman syndrome. If there's a missing white woman, we're going to cover that every day.
It's true.
Relisha Rudd, still missing. 2014. Today, July 11th is Remembrance Day. Please remember and share.
There was no shortage of local coverage, but extremely limited national coverage. And that makes a difference. That's why it's up to people like myself to keep these names alive. Black people accounted for 22% of missing people in data and just 13% of news stories. Relisha is part of that 22%, but her name was never mentioned by national media during prime time, despite going missing from our nation's capital almost a decade ago. Countless DC residents have never even heard of her.
We have to go. Okay.
Relisha.
How old are you now?
8.
Relisha went through all this and still tried to keep a smile on her face. Listen to her Michael Jackson as she loved Chuck Brown. They said, her aunt talked about how much she loved Chuck Brown and DC Go-Go, how much she was a Michael Jackson fan, how much the young girl loved to cheerlead, loved to dance. Relisha was such full of life, y'all. Relisha never had a chance. Relisha came from a broken home. And we all know when you come from a broken home that it can either make you or break you. To be bounced around from shelter to shelter, drugs around you, to have a mom that seemed like she really didn't give a damn about you, always arguing, fighting. It was just enough to make the devil blush.
Khalil was a janitor who worked at the shelter.
Daughter says, Mom, that's Mr. Tatum. I say, but it's not going to look right for your daughter to go. She say, Mom, she go on to play with the granddaughter. It's fine. Every time my granddaughter comes back, she tell me, I had fun with Mr. Tatum's granddaughter.
She came back with always something with, whether it was shoes or a tablet. He only targeted young girls. Think about it. Relisha has younger brothers. He never said, let me take Relisha and her brothers out. No, it was just all about Relisha. Now, all of a sudden, Relisha's missing from school for 3 weeks. That is until a counselor went and made a house call. And they wanted to know who this Dr. Tatum was, because Tatum took it upon himself to illegally write a doctor's note stating that he was the doctor taking care of Relisha. They look for Relisha. They find out, they see footage of Tatum and Red Roofing. Fast forward some more, y'all, and it just ends up with Relisha missing, Tatum's wife dead, and then Tatum found dead what looked to be a suicide is far too many people, kids and adults, going missing. And the biggest percentage is our black people. And y'all know when I do this podcast show, I don't care where I'm at, on the bus, in dialysis. Hell, I'm in the hospital now and I'm doing this show. I made a promise when Relisha first went missing that I'm going to keep this going as long as it takes. It's your boy, KWDC Radio. This is your one and only assistant detective, the big bad wolf himself, Keith Davis. And I'm out. Peace. I just recently became a dialysis patient. I caught COVID in the hospital, and that almost put me out. So, but it's been rough. I'm constantly in the hospital a lot, but that's got to change.
It's really disheartening to know that somebody in the community knows something, but they just won't tell you they can solve your case. And there's different reasons why people don't come forward. You know, some people have had a bad experience with law enforcement. Whatever the case is, there's a victim on the end of every case, and that's who we try to stay focused on. The time frame, the 18 days before her Amber Alert went out, you know, that's what this is symbolic of. The 7 and 11, which is 18, is the 18 days that Relisha Rudd was missing. Some days I feel like Relisha Rudd is no longer with us, and some days I feel as though she's out there somewhere. I got a young lady here today who was missing, who was stolen, sold, and 55 years later, she finds out her true identity.
When somebody sees this case, and somebody's been missing for 9 years, a lot of people lose hope. I heard you out here, you're not losing hope.
We're not losing hope. I think people should never give up. I didn't give up on myself. I'm basically an example, a true testament that all missing children are dead. We never know. What if she's in one of these vehicles? By us right now as a child that's grown up and say, oh my gosh, that looks like me.
About 38% of the people who go missing in the United States are black. More than double the percentage of black people in the general population, according to the Black and Missing Foundation.
Unique's mom, which is my aunt Valencia, she wasn't in contact at the time, but I checked the news and things like that, and here I see Unique Harris, a mother, missing. But then when Relisha came up, it really hit me because it was really hitting close to home because of Unique. So I first made the first season, which was the Finding Relisha radio show. The last 30 minutes, I get a phone call on there. This lady comes on. I'm like, okay, so ma'am, who are you? I'm the mother. The mother of who? Relisha's mother. Bing. I felt for her. I felt like she was, at first, the victim. They told me prior not to trust Shamika because she lies a lot.
We asked you to take a lie detector test. You refused 3 years ago to take it. If you were here now when we offered it to you, would you take it?
No, I wouldn't take it, because why would I put my trust into a machine, Steve? That machine is not going to help me find my daughter.
So I'm sitting up there like, I couldn't even get a word in because everybody was banging at her, bashing at her, arguing with it.
Because first of all, can't nobody put their feet in my shoes. Don't nobody know what's going through my mind and what's running through my head but me. Nobody don't know how I feel over here. I'm hurt, real hurt. We talk about my firstborn that I spent 18 hours and 36 minutes in labor with. I ain't sleeping at night. When I go to sleep, I keep having these dreams when my daughter reaching for me and I can't get her. How you think I feel about that? Waking up, keep crying. Is this what you want? This what y'all want? For me to act a fool on the radio to get my point across?
How we're going to get closure if she's the key to it. That's how we're going to find out the end of this. And she's not giving a lot. And questions are also asking about this grand jury case that started against her. They just stopped it. So I don't know what they're doing with it. And they did have a man, his name is Ricky Sheridan Lyles Sr. The police have said that he is a person of interest, but now they're left him alone. So if he's a POI, why aren't y'all looking around for this guy or seeing where this guy is? Like, he just vanished. The Amber Alert didn't even go out all over the nation like it was supposed to. It was only on the East Coast. And then it was out too late.
There are so many studies, national studies, that show that there's a disparity when it comes to the white woman syndrome. I mean, they get the diver dogs, scuba divers, search teams, helicopters. When African American or indigenous people go missing, it's like cricket. Like, we have to write letters and we have to get petitions, and we basically have to professionally beg for some of the resources that are just given on a daily basis to the white woman syndrome. In my true heart of heart, the only race that I really care about is the race to get a missing loved one home, back to reunite with their family.
More the social part of it than the race part of it. If this was Michael Jordan's daughter, she could be black all she wants, but that's Michael Jordan's daughter. So we know the FBI would be involved, which they are, but we know it would be on a whole, another scale. Your social status is the biggest thing. How much money you have, how much political pool you have, who you are in the community, whatever. Media is, I don't think it's racist. I just think media will play what they think people want to hear. And a byproduct of that is what you're seeing. You're seeing maybe white kids get aired more. And what I'm trying to educate people on now is to never get stuck if you're not on the news. Because the nuts and bolts to solving your case is not always media attention or national attention. Because as you know, a high percentage of the children that go missing are located in the same city and state where they went missing at. So, national exposure, it helps. I ain't gonna downplay it, because any detective wants you to get that, everybody to know about their missing person. But at the same time, you don't want people to get stuck and feel hopeless because their case is not getting this national attention. Every case is not gonna get it.
It's that right there. Them keep on doing features on CNN. The Relisha's case wasn't on CNN long like that, and neither was Unique's. Come on, we talking about CNN, a global conglomerate here. We're talking about one of the biggest news out there. I've tried so much to get these things on Nancy Grace and other shows that are like way out there where everybody probably don't know about these. But I don't think I've ever gotten anything from a single police officer. Even the police officers that be around sometimes and I'm talking to them and I ask about that subject right there is a very, very touchy subject. They can't answer. And you would think, come on, Slim, you as a police officer, you should be able to tell me these things,
Press information officer would be best to handle that type of question.
Can you guys make any statements on the case at all?
Relisha, she's alive. It's a part of sex trafficking. Or she's in Georgia with one of Tatum's family members. That's the biggest theory that we have. A lot of people thinking that she could have been dumped in the Chesapeake Bay or something because Tatum was a fisherman. I'm hoping more of alive. I really am. I'm hoping more of alive than any. I can't say if she's alive or dead, because if a 20-year missing persons case and the person can show up 20 years later, it can happen for Relisha. You know, I got a lot of time on my hands, yeah, but I could be doing other things, yeah, but there are equally another amount of people who could be doing more instead of just sitting watching TV. Could be on there, you know, doing something for Relisha or Unique or anybody that's missing. If y'all say day one, oh, if it was my child, that I would be doing this every day, okay. What if this was your child? Why don't you treat Relisha as if this was your child? Treat Unique as if this was your child or your family member.